is often shown through visual imagery such as grand battles, heroic men, and divine kings. But what happens when women pick up the brush and paint strength for themselves? Today, we explore the stories and works of women across history who painted strength, rage, resistance, and sovereignty on their own terms. From the blade of Artemisia Gentileschi to the surreal vision of Leonora Carrington, from the bold vulnerability of Frida Kahlo to the quiet defiance of Amrita Shergill, this is Women Who Rewrote Art. We begin with one of my favorite artists, Artemisia Gentileschi. Gentileschi was a Baroque painter in 17th century Italy and was one of the first women to gain recognition in a male-dominated art world. Artemisia's most famous work, Judith slaying Holofernes, is more than just a moment of biblical storytelling. It's an eruption of fury and control, a woman wielding the sword, not cowering beneath it. After surviving a public rape trial in her youth, Artemisia didn't just survive, she painted, and the women she painted fight back. Unlike her male peers, who often portrayed Judith as delicate or hesitant, Artemisia's Judith is focused, strong, and unflinching. In a world that tried to silence her, she painted louder. While Artemisia painted with blood and shadow, Leonora Carrington painted with dream and mystery. A surrealist painter, writer, and rebel, Carrington created visionary worlds filled with horses, witches, rituals, and beasts. Strength in her work is deeply internal, drawn from the subconscious, mythology, and female magic. Carrington rejected the male-dominated, surrealistic movement's obsession with the muse. She wasn't a muse, she was the myth-maker. In her paintings, women aren't passive symbols. They're shapeshifters, sorcerers, and beings of transformation. Her work dares to ask, what if the most powerful realm of all is the one inside you? If Carrington explored the hidden world, Frida Kahlo laid it bare. Her canvases are mirrors that reflect pain, passion, politics, and identity. Kahlo turned self-portraiture into radical storytelling. She painted herself as a duality in singularity, broken and unbreakable. She painted her disability, her heartbreak, her anger, her pride. In the two Fridas, she splits herself open. In the broken column, she binds herself in steel. And always, she looks straight at us. Kahlo's power was in owning her image, in being the painter and the painted, the wounded and the warrior. Across the world, in pre-independence India, Amrita Shergill was carving her own path. Born to a Hungarian mother and Indian father, trained in Paris, Shergill could have stayed in the European art world. Instead, she returned to India and painted the people around her with a quiet intimacy. Her women are not exoticized, not adorned for the colonial gaze. They are thoughtful, heavy, real. In Three Girls in Bride's Toilet, Shergill captured the weight of expectation, the inner lives of women so often flattened by a stereotype. Her style was a fusion, European modernism meeting Indian emotion. Her strength was in reclaiming the Indian woman's image and painting her with dignity and depth. For American artist Faith Ringgold, power came through storytelling and fabric. Her story quilts told the lives of black women in ways that galleries and textbooks often ignored. In Tar Beach, a young girl flies above the Harlem skyline, claiming the city, the sky, the world. Ringgold's art is intersectional, gender, race, history, and hope sewn together. She challenged the idea that quilts were craft, not art, and by doing so, she turned domestic tradition into a political statement, one stitch at a time. These women painted in different times, different continents, and different styles, but all of them rewrote the visual language of power. For Artemisia, it was a sword. For Carrington, a spell. For Frida, a stare. For Amrita, a quiet presence. For Faith, a story wrapped in thread. They didn't just make art, they made space. Space for emotion, resistance, and memory. Space for themselves and for those who came after. To paint as a woman, especially in eras or places where women were not meant to speak, was an act of defiance. To paint power, as these artists did, was revolutionary. Their work still speaks, still burns, because power is not just in the brushstroke, it's in the choice to keep painting. Thanks for watching. Which woman artist's work resonated with you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from art history.